Seven did it again.
Night and day, I'm away. Can't complain, I get paid. But either way, the skies are grey. Get the bag, leave no trace. I know that you don't see me lately, I'm hardly getting sleep. Diamonds in my vision, I know diamonds make you weak. You call my phone, but I'm back on D&D. No going home, made a home inside the street. Let's raise our glass and make a toast. The crown is heavy, not as heavy as my big ego. I was sitting in the trap, writing every goal. Fell in love with these pinkies, I'll never let you go. Marry the money, I say my bye. I blow the whistle, you're moving fast. Give me your trust, I won't let you down. Been through hella bricks, tryna build a house. Night and day, I'm away. Can't complain, I get paid. But either way, the skies are grey. Get the bag, leave no trace. Night and day, I'm away. Can't complain, I get paid. But either way, the skies are grey. Get the bag, leave no trace.
I was reckless when I said I loved you, but kept it real. My nigga reckless in the field, he still keep it still. We try to show him different ways, but he just lost the drill. And I'm just baked off with a baddie trying to make a meal. I left her later on the bed and then I went to kill a show. You know it's hard to take you everywhere and niggas got to go. I'm trying to put these diamonds on my wrist and let these fuckers glow. The biggest haters come from niggas in your inner circle. The life I'm trying to lead will have my son so what a touch from being in the streets. Me and your mother manifest till it's a living dream. Keep kicking down the fucking door until they let me in. Promise my mother I won't do it, then I did again. I went to sin again. No further action on the case, I sent FA again. My father thinks I went to uni, but I paid the rent. I know my parents will be proud when I'm a millionaire.
Night and day, I'm away. Can't complain, I get paid. But either way, the skies are grey. Get the bag, leave no trace. Night and day, I'm away. Can't complain, I get paid. But either way, the skies are grey. Get the bag, leave no trace.
I'm thinking outside of the blocks, crib outside of the blocks. Diamond on my lady's finger, got her outside with a rock. Money, power and respect, you think I'm outside with the locks. Don't let your ego life you off or have you outside in a box. No, you know streets are so cold. When your ego's involved, you can't bend, you can't fold. You go hard or go home, can't rely on no soul. You just firm it alone, I know life takes its toll. Everyone's got a story, when they talk is pain relief. When you're young you love the roads, you get old you hate the streets. And everybody act real, find out it's make believe. You can't always take the dub, gotta learn how to take defeat. I pray if I get rich, they don't do me like Rico. Gotta keep that circle tight, just couple of amigos. Don't talk till the job's done, yeah you know that G code. But I'll reason with Bobby though, cause I got a big ego.
Night and day, I'm away. Can't complain, I get paid. But either way, the skies are grey. Get the bag, leave no trace. Night and day, I'm away. Can't complain, I get paid. But either way, the skies are grey. Get the bag, leave no trace.
Welcome to another episode of Big Ego Media. Got a special guest, goes by the name of Cheeko. How you doing today?
What's up, bro? What you saying?
Yeah, not too bad. So let's get straight into it. Let the people know where you're from, where'd you grow up?
Yeah, I'm from Canning Town, East London.
Canning Town, East London, borough of Newham.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you remember about growing up in that area?
You know, just fun, just a lot of football, a lot of music, a lot of youth clubs. You know, it's kind of cool growing up in the area still.
Was you any good at football?
I think I was alright.
Made the school team?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, what position?
Right back.
Okay, what was the actual ambition, or what did you want to be growing up?
Obviously, when I was growing up, everybody wanted to be a footballer. Wanted to play football.
What was your team?
What team I supported?
Yeah.
Arsenal.
Okay. So, growing up in the household, who's in the household? Who like to get?
Just my mum, my 3 sisters and me.
Okay, were you the oldest, youngest?
I was just bang in the middle.
Bang in the middle.
Yeah.
Your dad played a part in your life?
Yeah, for like 5 years. I went to go and live with him when I was in secondary school.
Why did you need to go and leave your mum and go and live with your dad?
I don't know. You just when you're young, you just want to be near your dad, innit? Like really and truly, if you ain't had a dad, you want to be with your dad. So,
Yeah.
Because he's a man. I just wanted to be with him for a bit, and then my mum allowed me to stay with him for a little bit.
What was the kind of main difference between living with your dad and living with your mum?
Some crazy one. My mum, I feel like she was there a bit more, but obviously she was working and that. But I don't know, like. But with my dad, because I had half brothers, it was just more like brothers in it, so it's easier to play with, and just a bit more fun in it. So, but with my mum, because they're just girls, it's kind of boring.
Okay, so you lived in kind of Canning Town. Living with your mum, how was you like in school? How was you like your grades?
I was bang in the middle of my grades, I wasn't the smartest, but I wasn't stupid either, like, so I was just bang in the middle. I was actually alright in school. I only got excluded once, so I wasn't a bad student.
I mean, some people don't get excluded at all. What did you get excluded for?
The whole year got excluded,
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it was the whole year. I think someone blew up a firework in the school building, so the whole year got excluded, and that's the only time I got excluded.
Okay. So like me, I'm someone who grew up in Peckham, but I'm very familiar with Canning Town. I used to go back and forth. I always used to see it as a peaceful kind of area. And when I was in Joe in 2010, I'm hearing all these stories about what's going on in Newham. I mean, when was that change for you when you saw, okay, Newham's getting a little bit dangerous?
Maybe when I think I turned 17, it started getting a bit dangerous.
Yeah.
But before that, it was sweet. Everybody was cool.
When did you kind of, so as it we like to say, hit the roads?
Probably 16, 17, somewhere like that.
I mean, why was it so late? Because sometimes people start in year 9, year 10. That's the early part of recruitment.
At that time, there was a lot of stuff like football, youth clubs. So like we were just always playing football. Like that took us off the roads, the streets. So we was always playing football on a Wednesday or going to a church called Glorious on Monday, kicking ball there. So there was always football like around. So maybe that's why I probably did it a bit later.
Yeah. So I mean, doing it a bit later was the first thing that you kind of started getting involved in?
Probably like stealing phones, doing like dumb little robberies on the roads, like I was doing shoplifting, just doing stupid stuff.
And how was the kind of conversation with your parents? Could they see the change in you? Did they see things as different, or did you hide that from them?
I think my mum saw the change in me. At that time, I think I stopped talking to my dad. So I went back to my mum's, and I think my mum kind of saw it, like I was just getting further away from her and that. So she kind of pictured that I was doing up to no good.
Yeah. And the first time you got arrested?
Yeah, the first time I arrested, I was in a stolen car. I think I was 17 as well, and boy, she was really surprised. She couldn't believe it.
Yeah, what was the conversation like that?
She didn't even have a conversation. I just remember screaming, like shouting at me, and then one of my aunts that was in the house, God rest her soul, she was trying to like talk to me, like tell me like why, get a conversation out of me, but my mum was just pissed, like she couldn't believe it.
So at that point, you said earlier you're doing football, music. How long had you been doing music at this point?
I was doing music at this point. Like at youth club, you used to do music, like rapping. They used to have decks and stuff. Probably like from like 14, I was just mixing in. And in my dad's house as well, like he probably had a computer at that time. Not a lot of people in the end had computers, and then he taught us how to use Fruity Loops. So I used to be like, I was a bit savvy with Fruity Loops. So from there I used to record. Some of my friends used to come over to record, like do little dumb like things that you do when you're young.
Was it grime at the time? Cause grime
it was grime. Everyone used to come and just spit bars, MC and grime bars.
And who was the best in the crew?
I think it was, obviously at the time, probably Don E at the time. I used to like Don E.
Yeah. I actually write his lyrics for him still.
Yeah, keep on hearing it still.
Yeah, what'd you call it? But on a, so music wise, so at which point then did you kind of meet Mover? Because at one point you started managing him.
Mover, I think we came in like, probably when I was between 17 or 18, I'm not too sure. My boy Bicky used to play football and I think they used to be in the same team together. So when they used to come back from football, like on the weekend, they used to come to Medis, and all of us used to try at Medis, and he used to come and he used to rap, and then that's how I started knowing that he raps. He's actually a good rapper and that.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Was he any good at football?
You know what? I remember playing with him, weren't that the best. He was strong, but I don't think he was the best. But he was alright still. I don't think he was the best though.
Yeah. So I mean, when he started, sort of, was he also doing the MCing thing, or was it just?
Yeah, I think he was doing the MCing from time. Like, I think he was in MIC at the time. When MIC was about and Younger Nasty. I think he was amongst that group.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, what was the kind of transition that where you said, you know what? Let me start managing you. Like, how did that conversation start?
I just feel like, obviously, we were always together, and obviously, I think I was kind of savvy on the online and that, so I was like, bro, like, let me just take control. Let's do, if you want to do this, let's do this properly. Let me just manage you, and you just concentrate on the rapping thing, and then with the internet releasing music, that I'll help you do it.
Yeah, when you started getting kind of a buzz, did you always know this was going to happen at the time, or did you just think? Did you see the longevity of music, basically, or you just think it's a hobby?
Like, I don't know. I always saw like this is our out. Like, this is what's gonna make us get at the ends. Like, because like from the beginning, like I knew he was hard, yeah, and like, no one's heard like how he used to rap, how he used to like this cadence, like what he used to rap about. I knew like it was hard to come across. You ain't gonna hear that. So I knew there was a possibility. Like, well, if we continue, this is our way out. Like. So I used that, and I thought, use my internet savviness, put that together, and just trying to do the best that we can to get out of our situation.
I mean, one of the songs that he's most infamous known for is the one with Timbo, Ringtone. How did that come about?
That one there is kind of a funny one, you know. Like, obviously, I already knew Timbo in it, so I was already familiar. I'm kind of friends. And I was telling Mover, like, yo, there's this guy that's doing this, like, Afro, but he's not Afro beats, but it's like, I think, and right at that point, I could see that Afro beats was the in thing in the uni rage, innit? So I just told Mover, like, yo, let's do a tune with my man, and let's get something in the works, innit? But he was like, I don't know, he didn't know, he was thinking, like, nah, I don't know about it, so.
What was it? Because he didn't feel like my man was hard enough? Or?
No, he knew, he felt it was hard, but he just
didn't. Like, streetwise.
Yeah, he didn't see the mix of Afro and rap, like. So I was just trying to get to him, but boy, this is what's gonna happen. Like, this is the new thing. Like, if you can put bashment on rap, why can't you put Afro on rap? Like, it's basically kind of the same thing. Yeah. So I just put that in his ear, and then from then I just took. Like, he didn't even know. Like, I just took his lyrics, one of his tracks that he already had freestyle, and I sent it over to Timbo. And then from there, Timbo did what he did, send it back over, and then we got Ringtone. So
I was Mover's reaction when he first heard
he was in love with it.
Yeah.
Like, he was like, wow, like, he didn't know, like, the level, like, my man was on, like, so, yeah, but this is it, like, let's from there, we just pushed it.
So, I mean, how did you go about pushing it? You just played it to your bedroom, then it started?
Yeah, first I sent it to Bicky. I remember, I sent it to Bicky first. Bicky said, yeah, like, because he's like, yeah, this is the one, like, and from there I started try to get Link Up TV involved, try to get them to film it. Even that was a headache, like, try to get them to film it. At that point as well, nobody was going to help you unless you're already big in it. So it's like everything was coming out of our own pockets. So whatever we could put together, we just made a video and then just released it, literally, for our own backs.
It's now known as a classic. I would say maybe one of the top 20 tunes known in the UK, especially that era of uni. I know all the uni kids were kind of listening to it. Then you're going on shows, you're getting booked everywhere. How was that feeling? Did you feel like you're living a rock star life at the time?
Yeah, I just didn't want to be in the ends, like, and any opportunity we could get to get out of the ends, like, I loved it, like, and you was getting paid to not be in the ends, like, so it was like, so win-win for man. So it was like, I loved it. I just wanted to keep on continuing, trying making more bangers, and I knew at a point would have been laughing.
And at that same era, you guys met Potter Payper.
Yeah.
How did that come about?
I met Potter Payper through Lotz one day. Like, I went to, because I used to go, Lotz is the person that owns Black Box. So I used to always be in his house. And then one time, a white boy come to the yard, and then Lotz was like, yo, this guy can rap. But I was looking at him and I was thinking, then until we got onto the mic, then I was like, yeah, it's the truth. Like I just knew. As soon as he started spitting bars, I knew, yeah, this guy's the truth.
And I did, so you like kind of connected him with Mover at the time?
I think, yeah, basically, like, I told Mover about Potter, and then Potter, I told Mover that, yeah, like, there's a white boy in the studio, it's kind of hard, you know, I think you should work with him. And then I think Mover went to Lotz on his own thing with one of our other bedrooms, and then he met Potter, and then from there, they just clicked and hit it up.
And at this point, you was kind of hosting mixtapes yourself.
Yeah, like, obviously, because at the time I was rapping, kind of, but I knew, like, I was I'm a hype man. I'm good at hyping people's bars up and that.
Yeah.
So when I was in the studio one day, Mover just said, bruv, instead of us trying to find all this Million, big ride and that, you might as well just get on the mic and host the tape yourself. And then from there, I just never looked back.
And then you done that. You done Potter Payper's first training day as well.
Yeah.
Not many people don't own that still.
Yeah, man done the first training day. He just was in the studio, like, oh, well, you're doing Movers. After you do Movers tape, jump on mine and do mine. That's literally how it happened. I just went from there.
How many mixtapes did you end up hosting? Quite a few.
Probably like that year, like 9.
Okay. Is that something you wanted to continue? Because I feel that era has gone, but everything comes back.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's coming back. Is that something you will do now, or?
Yeah. I think that it's coming back now. Yeah, of course I will. That's why now me and Bicky and one of my other boys are doing like rap freestyles, so people can pull up, do their bars, and just showcase their talent. So yeah, because we know right now it's basically the in thing, and it's what people want to see on YouTube. So it's good content. So why not?
I mean, going back to your own kind of youth days, then. So obviously all these things going on in Newham, you end up catching a case at one point.
Yeah.
You beat the case, but how did that come about?
I think at the time, obviously, Mover was going through his own the murder trial, and I don't know if they were looking at me, watching me, but at the same time, they raided my house, and then they found something that was in my house, but obviously I didn't have a clue that whatever they were saying that was in my house was in my house, and then we just took it to trial, and then thank God it didn't even make it to trial. They threw it out, and then God willing, I was.
Did you think you were going to jail at the time?
Yeah, at the time I did, because everything was just going bad. Like, because after Ringtone and all that dropped, like we just hit a curse. Like everyone's getting arrested, getting nicked. So I just thought, yeah, boy, it's probably my time as well. So at the time, yeah.
I mean, at the time when you heard the news that Mover's been arrested for murder, like what was going through your head?
It was crazy. I don't know, man. It was a sad period still. I didn't because probably like before that we had conversations just about leaving what we was doing and then just focusing on music 100%. So it was heartbreaking still. I can't lie.
Yeah, is he in good spirits? You guys still in touch? You guys still speak?
Yeah, we speak. I spoke to him probably like a week ago. Yeah. And he's in good, every time I speak to him, he's in good spirits. Like, he's never been bad. He's just happy. Like, he's just happy to see everybody still alive, still striving. And yeah, he's been in good spirits, man.
Has he got any kind of music coming out that we've been looking out for?
Obviously, as you know, when we tried to release music from Mover before, the police had an agenda to go to the newspapers and get it taken off the platforms. But now, I think they're off him, so I think he can now release tracks on Spotify and Apple Music. So we're gonna try all the tracks that we've got. We're gonna try to release them still.
Okay. And you ended up spending a bit of time yourself and Joe as well. How long did you get, and how long did you do?
I got 2D1.
I just asked the same question. How long did
you get?
That's what I was thinking. How long did you get, and what was it for? So
yeah, I did a 2D1, and it just what was it for again? It was for food, innit? Mm. So yeah, I got 2D1.
Going to Joe, how was that feeling? Like,
it was dead, man. It was especially at the time as well. Don E just kind of hit it. So I was like, it was a win, and then it was sad because I'm going to jail for I'm not gonna be able to see it
Yeah.
So I went jail. While I'm in jail, I'm hearing Don E, are you alright? Yeah. just hitting it up in every station, literally. And I know because I was a part of it, making a tune. So it's like, wow, like every time something good happens, like man's sitting down. So it's like, yeah. So, but yeah, man, it was bittersweet still.
I mean, just talking about that era then of like, I guess 2016, 17, like the Afro swing era. Obviously, you guys done the tune with Timbo. Or she had the likes of Cultural Funds, Young Bane, Don E. Like there was that whole big sort of Afro swing era.
Yeah.
And it's kind of sort of moved on, and people are not really checking for that sort of music anymore. What do you think has happened?
I just think like, I think they're always gonna have a space in the industry, like regardless. Yeah, but I think people are fickle and they just want to hear something new all the time. Like it's like now it was drill, but now it's kind of come back to UK rap. Like, and it's gonna probably be another bashment kind of thing next. Like it has its time in it, and I feel like them man are the originals. Like so. They're always gonna have that fan base, so there's always space for them to always continue winning, like regardless if people are not tuning in now, but they've made their stamp in the industry.
And in terms of sort of the youngers in the area, do you keep your ear to the street in regards to who's next, who's making good music, should people look out for?
Yeah, of course we have to, because obviously, like I said before, what me and the likes of Bicky and are trying to do is bring all these young artists and get them into the studio and do things like pull-ups and cues, like, and there's talent, bro, especially Newham as well itself. There's a lot of young ones coming with some new kind of wave, like just different, like.
What's the objective with the platform? Is it to be like a what do you call it, just a freestyle platform, like a black box, or have you got scope to do more content?
It's gonna be, obviously it's gonna come out like that, but it's gonna be have judges. It's gonna be like a game show kind of thing. It's gonna have more content. It's gonna have confessionals, like people that's judging the freestyles, like trying to take into a different level, man.
And what do you call it? Where do you see yourself sitting in the next couple of years in regards to what you want to do and what you want to achieve?
I just want to probably be like, have one of the biggest labels in the UK with the mandem, like with my friends, and just be able to bring out new talent every month. Bring out new talent, bring out new artists, if it's male, female, rap, R&B. Just be like, just push the culture, literally.
I mean, we're talking about road rap coming back. One thing I really want to come back is R&B. Like, I think R&B, people are slowly getting back to it, but what do you think we need? Do we need a big superstar R&B artist in the UK? Because even in the US, we don't really have them anymore. What do you think is missing?
Well, we got some big UK R&B stars. Like, look at that Cleo Soul girl. Like, bro, she's probably one of the biggest, like, internationally. But in the UK, no one really knows her. Like, you get me? But
even into LMA to go to.
Yeah, look at LMA as well. Like, there's a lot of R&B. Like, even I forgot his name, but some light skin boy, but he's R&B, and I feel like in the
Nipper.
What's it?
Nipper?
Yeah, I think that's his name.
Giovanni as well is doing it.
Yeah,
as well.
yeah. Like, there's a lot of them. Like, but it's just, I don't know. Maybe they need their own platforms as well, like, to push themselves. But I think, well,
is that something that you might do, like a R&B platform?
Yeah, I think we're trying to do that as well. We're trying to the pull up as well. It's gonna be like not just rap. It's gonna be singers. We're gonna maybe the next season we'll have singers on it. Different type of talent.
Have you guys started recording already?
Yeah, we started releasing some videos. I think we got about 5 on YouTube now. We're just working. We're just filming. We're just trying to release more content.
What's it called?
It's called Q's Pull Up.
Okay, who's Q?
Q's is Killing Them With Success. That's like the label,
okay,
and the studio and everything, like the umbrella of everything.
Okay. So that's on YouTube. Anything else in the pipeline besides that? I know you took part in our show, Speed Daters. You coming back for a second rerun?
Nah, I don't think the missus will like that one, mate. I've got a missus now. I don't think she's gonna want to see me on season 3. But well, I want to be there, bro. I can't lie, but you know, we'll see. We'll talk.
Nah, you can't say you can't be there.
I could be a judge or something. I could be one of them,
you know,
in the background.
No, definitely can be one of the judges. But honestly, that was a refreshing interview. Short and sweet, but I think you got out what you wanted. Many people don't know, I guess, a Mover story, or that the fact that you actually hosted Potter Payper's first ever mixtape, and if you look at what Potter Payper's doing now, I mean, did you ever envisage, like when you first met him that time, that he would be regarded as one of the best rappers now?
Like, I knew that he was one of the best. Like, I could hear he's the best rapper. Like, but it's like I knew he was always in and out of jail, so I didn't know if he was gonna make that transition to get out. But look at him now. Like, he's made that transition. I don't see him going back to jail now. You get me? But I never saw it. But I saw it, but I just didn't think because he was one of them people that was deep in the streets. Like, literally, like he was really in there. Like,
if you had to pick Potter or Mover,
you know, I'm gonna pick Mover.
Yeah,
100%.
I mean, a lot of people have Mover as one of their favorite rappers, but do you think people always do those things? Like where, for example, they'll say Biggie and Tupac because they're not here, or say people say Crazy Titch would have been the greatest if he was still here. Do you think people just say those things because someone's not there?
Nah, I know Mover. Like, Mover is one of the best rappers. Like, he's one of them rappers. Like, he can make songs for the gal, the man them, like he's got songs for everybody. Like you don't even have to be a road person or somebody on the streets to listen to Mover. He's that type of artist. Like, look at Ringtone, look at the likes of the song he done with Sonor. Like, those type of songs are not your normal rap songs.
Yeah.
Like, they're kind of poppy songs. Like, and he could just do anything. Like, literally, he was that type of artist.
And in regards to, I guess we'll go back into before we finish off, in regards to Newham in itself again. Do you ever envisage a time like where people that say, you know what, this thing is old now? I mean, do you ever feel comfortable going to different areas, or do you still have to be cautious and vigilant?
Listen, like, we're human beings, and we're all like, we know what, like, you gotta be smart in it. And as I'm matured, like, I've got smarter. I know who I could be around, or where I should be and where I shouldn't be. So, like, that's just how it's been in it. So,
And obviously, it's always difficult when people have kind of passed and gone away, and people say the beef can never be squashed. But it's in the sense that if you see people that you was, I guess not beefing, but people you didn't get along with, is the thing that where it's like we see you, and like, you know what, we're all old now, we all got our children, just live life? Or do you think some people still always harbour feelings?
I feel like our age has matured and understand life way more better in it. So we know, like, yo, like, this is not even worth it. Like, we've got kids, like, we've got businesses. Like, you're not worth me losing my life or losing my freedom. So we're not gonna go and, like, we've grown up, like, we grew up. Like, we're not gonna go backwards. We're trying to move forward. So I don't feel like me personally, it's gonna be thinking ops or I want to fight you or I want to do this to you. Nah, no.
I mean, and as a father yourself, now, how do you think that's changed you as a person?
Being a father, just being connected with my emotion, being spiritually awakened, like, it just made me be a better man, like, because obviously I've got examples to show the young youths, like, so I've got to be smart in my decision making, like, and trying to be able to provide so I can provide for my children.
Any last words for the people out there?
No, I'm just saying, keep locked in, like, get me. Make sure you look out for the cues, pull-up sessions. Obviously, make sure you look out for Donny. Donny's got new music coming out. Yeah, just keep on the lookout for us, man. We're doing big things.
And that there was a big ego. I couldn't speak. That there was a big ego interview, and that was Cheeko.
Love, bro.